Hi, everybody. Trying this again. You might see a couple of stops and starts on our Facebook feed. I was attempting to go on Facebook Live on my computer, but it seems like every time I try to do Facebook Live on my laptop, something has changed and my computer doesn't like it, or it says I'm not on the current version. So even though we use technology for our law firm, sometimes things just happen. So I've switched over to a different platform that we use, and I'm coming to you now. So I apologize for being a little bit late, but technical difficulties sometimes happen. They seem to happen a lot more now that everybody's been working from home for so long. They're using up the bandwidth. So welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to June of 2020. It's a surreal time in most of our lives, and I just wanted to acknowledge that before moving on to our family law topic of the week. So let's all take time in our lives to be aware of ourselves, our feelings, the feelings of those of us, those around us, and really the whole United States and the whole world right now, because things are getting a little bit real in the world. So moving on, today I'd like to talk about DIY in family law and divorces specifically. Since the internet became a thing, and yes, I'm not old, but I remember not having it, and especially the last 10 to 20 years, we have really become more of a DIY society. If you want to learn how to do, something like grout your bathtub, lay down flooring, now with COVID lockdowns, even doing at-home haircuts, instructions and step-by-step videos are easily accessible online, and that's valid. There's a place, and for DIY, there's also a danger associated with it, and I think we can all recognize that. I'm going to talk about a few things to look out for when thinking about going DIY on your divorce or other family law issues like getting guardianship of child, or even getting your affairs in order with estate planning, like getting your will, powers of attorney, things like that. So number one, we'll talk about what does DIY mean. And I'm not going to talk down to you. DIY really means just that. It means do it yourself. There are two types of people, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, who go after DIY solutions. One is the type of person who wants to save money, and the other is the person who wants to get the skill set and personal pride of doing something for themselves. There is that hybrid of the two, but one big thing to keep in mind is that trying to save money on DIY solutions can be really dangerous, and we all know that. Who knows someone, even themselves, who has had to hire an expert to fix a mess they made, whether that's something in your house or trying to fix a leak, whatever it might be. That can end up costing more money and causing more problems than if you just paid somebody who knew how to do it in the first place. Number two is who can legitimately do a DIY divorce. If you're the type of person who studies everything, and I mean everything, about a particular subject before jumping into DIY, you can probably legitimately handle divorce yourself, especially if you don't have children, that kind of thing. I would caution against this, even if you're that person who likes to do things for yourself or you're trying to save money. Divorces don't have to be as expensive as people think they are. A lot of things that cause them to be expensive tend to be, fighting and attorneys who bill by the hour and encourage fighting, because there are some of those out there. But I would caution you against doing it yourself if you have children under the age of 18, because studying everything about the divorce process cannot replace the knowledge and experience of a divorce attorney and what they know to protect against for future issues with children, visitation, child support, that kind of thing. So really think about that when you're starting this process and you're deciding what you want to do with your divorce. I'm not one of those people who likes to learn new skill sets in order to get one thing. So that's just not my personality. I don't want to learn how to knit in order to have a knitted sweater. I don't have the desire. I'd like to just buy a great sweater from someone who knows how to do it well. So you just have to ask yourself those, hard questions. Do I want to read statutes, administrative orders, possibly look through case law and find information on how to, like what the process is for filing for divorce, getting that hearing, what to say in a hearing, if you need to bring witnesses, and so on and so on. It's just, those are the questions you need to ask yourself before you decide to go on this journey for yourself. Number 3, I'm going to talk about why you need an attorney. So I've already told you that I'm not the type of person who wants to learn how to do something just to get one thing out of it. I don't want 90 knitted sweaters or hats. I want to buy one that's already completed. Same thing about my house. I'm fine with painting and small things. And I know I could learn how to do things like install my new toilet that I got last year, but I'd rather pay the money to have the person who has done it 1,000 times come and install it for me. She or he will know what to do if things go wrong. My philosophy is, please take my money so that I don't have to get gross, sweaty, frustrated, maybe wet, and possibly mess it up, for myself, flood my bathroom, whatever it might be that I do wrong. I feel the same thing about hiring an attorney. If you are going to hire an attorney, there are things that you kind of need to look out for as well. If you're like me and you just want to pay somebody who knows how to do it for you and with you. Like for us, we do it with you, not necessarily for you. But if you're going to hire an attorney, you don't just have to pick the first one. Do some homework. If you're doing work on your house or renovating or whatever it might be, you probably don't hire a contractor or a plumber without talking to your friends, putting it out on a Facebook alert. Hey, who have people used? Why do you like them? I'm looking for somebody to do X, Y, and Z project. Interviewing multiple plumbers. You got to find the right fit. So you don't just pick somebody because you found them in the yellow pages. Yes, I said already that I'm old. So excuse me. Online yellow pages, or whatever it might be that you are Googling and seeing kind of the listings that are out there. The same thing is true for your attorney. They don't have to be super expensive. Excuse me. I don't have coronavirus. I just got a tickle in my throat. So the same thing should be true for your attorney. If you're going to hire an attorney, you don't have to necessarily hire the first one that you see on a Google result. You do some research. They don't have to be super expensive. I think a lot of people have that misbelief that hiring an attorney is very expensive. They're only super expensive if you plan on going in with guns blazing and fighting about everything in your divorce. They should return your messages when you need to ask a question. There are different things that you can ask to make sure that you're getting the right fit. We've done lives on this before. We'll probably do it again about the different types of questions and things you need to consider when you're talking to an attorney. The overall gist of what I'm talking about today is because I see people all the time on social media, especially talking about how easy it is to file for a divorce for yourself. I've seen it this week. I've seen it last week. I've seen it for years and years. It can be easy to file for divorce. If you do the work, you don't have any debts, assets, kids, things like that. But peace of mind, someone to walk you through the process, someone who knows how to protect you and your children, somebody who can help with negotiations on dividing property, someone who has seen visitations go bad and knows how to prevent issues in the future. I think that's worth it. It's up to you to decide for yourself. So thank you for joining me today. Excuse me. Even though we had technical difficulties in the beginning, and I now have something in my throat that won't let me talk, but I appreciate you taking your time today to listen to me. We'll see you here next week on Tuesday at 11:30. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay loving, stay aware, and we'll see you next week. Thanks so much.